Let's see what those pesky Polish are up to. Nope.
Good evening, afternoon, and night, you bunch of weirdos. That's right, today we're going to be talking about one of the most famous Polish soldiers and bears ever, Wojtek the bear. For those of you who don't know what a bear is, it's usually a large, heavy, woodland forest puppy that really just wants cuddles, head pets, and food. So if you see one out next time you're hiking, I highly recommend you give it a head scratch. You won't regret it. Anyway, let's get down to bearsness. In spring of 1942, the Anders Army would leave the Soviet Union and head to Iran. More specifically, we're going to be looking at the 22nd Artillery Supply Company, who, like I said before, was going to the Middle East to fight Nazi Germany. Near the city of Hamadan, Iran, a young shepherd was carrying a Syrian brown bear cub in a sack that he would later trade the soldiers for a Swiss Army knife, some chocolate, and some canned beef. The soldiers who adopted the cub and took it under their care would name it Wojtek, which meant happy warrior. Due to the extreme malnourishment the bear had gone through, it had a really hard time eating hard foods. So like any good like any good soldier, they would give it condensed milk with empty vodka bottles, they would give it marmalade and various fruits to make sure he grew up big and strong. A soldier by the name of Peter would become Wojtek's primary caregiver, teaching him how to salute, how to wave, and how to march, which the bear absolutely loved to do because the people in its unit were doing it, and it was like, oh, this is great fun. When it wasn't being trained, this adorable murder rug would entertain itself by wrestling and boxing with its fellow soldiers, and even get treats such as beer and cigarettes, which he would just eat the cigarettes. He wouldn't actually smoke them, and beer was actually his favorite thing. You could call that one of his bear necessities. He was also known to be incredibly mischievous, constantly breaking into food stores for rations and breaking into the shower and showering alone because this bear absolutely loved cold showers. At one point, his mischief would reach an all-time high when he snuck into an Allied soldier camp in Iraq and stole a washing line from the female soldiers' underwear. Basically, Wojtek was a typical grunt. He was a bit simple, a bit tough, and a bit horny, but he didn't require a whole lot besides a good beer with his buddies and a good sniff to be happy. Like I said before, Wojtek would absolutely love to have cold showers, but unfortunately, due to water rationing, he would be, well, cut off. One night when he was just rummaging around, he found that the shower doors were open and he decided to go peek in, only to find an Arab spy just standing there absolutely terrified because a bear just walked in while he was trying to be sneaky stealthy.
I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Obviously, at the sight of the bear, this Arab spy would absolutely surrender to the Polish soldiers, giving them all the information that he had, while also Wojtek being rewarded with unlimited showers and 2 more beers a day. The 22nd Artillery Supply Company would eventually be reassigned to fight alongside the British 8th Army in the Italian campaign. The British, being uptight bastards as they were, would eventually forbid mascots and pets to getting onto their ship. However, the Polish would get around this by officially drafting Wojtek into the Polish military as a private, enlisted under the 22nd Artillery Company. Naturally, given that Wojtek was a paid soldier with his own rank and pay, he would be allowed to bunk with his unit. And during the Battle of Monte Cassino, he would go along with them, of course, because he's with their unit. He would watch the soldiers be carrying these heavy boxes of artillery in groups, and Wojtek, wanting to be like them, would just pick up one of the boxes and start carrying it over to where it needed to be gone. And that was kind of insane because it usually took 4 grown men to take these big artillery crates over to where they needed to be gone. Wojtek, being literally a bear, just picked it up and started going, which absolutely amazed everybody in the unit. And because of this, they would eventually make their company's insignia a bear carrying an artillery shell. But can you just imagine being on the opposite enemy team there, and you're just, a guy, you're ready to fight, you grab your binoculars, and you look out in the distance and you see a bear carrying a bunch of artillery canisters. Man, that's just like a morale killer. Nah. If they got fucking Pokemon over there doing shit for them, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna start doing, but I'm gonna be leaving.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
His service in the battle would actually earn him the rank of a corporal. And I know you're also thinking, again, they made a bear a non-commissioned officer. That means he's actually now allowed to give privates orders. If fucking Corporal Wojtek over there is screaming at me for fish, I'm not gonna tell him no. Motherfucker weighs more than I do and could rip my arm off. After this battle, Wojtek would continue to serve for a little while longer, but not really doing much else aside from being an attraction, the mascot for the company. He would scare several swimmers, several donkeys, and several horses. And from a couple other stories that I had read, he had apparently gotten into a fight with another bear and been absolutely terrified of horses as a whole, even though he also scared them. But that's about it. That's pretty much all she wrote. Eventually, he would get shipped back to Scotland with the rest of his unit, and he would basically be an attraction there, getting the soldiers there some well-earned sexy time, if you know what I'm talking about. After which, at the war ended, the Polish soldiers did not want to send him back to Poland, fearing that the USSR at the time would take him and make him a symbol of communism, so they sent him to a zoo in Edinburgh, where he would live out the rest of his days. During that time frame, he pretty much was a solitary bear as far as I could tell. He didn't really get along with all the other bears because, you know, he's a fucking war bear and didn't really want to fuck with the plebs beneath him. But in that time frame, several of the men from his unit would come visit him, throwing cigarettes for him and trying to sneak him beer as often as possible. That's basically it. Wojtek would eventually pass December 2nd, 1963, at the whopping age of 21 years old, which, as far as I'm aware, is pretty freaking old for a bear. And several statues would be erected in his honor. And that pretty much ends the story of Wojtek the bear. And that's basically it. Thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for going down with me to this rabbit hole. Remember to like, share, subscribe, share it with your friends, your mom, your dad, whoever else. Let me know how I did down in the comments. Thanks for watching.